So good morning or good evening or good afternoon to everyone. I'm Alfio Albazini from Switzerland. In my clinic here in Switzerland, my clinic is here since 25 years. We are dealing with different musculoskeletal components.
Back maybe to physiotherapists. There are some physiotherapists like with big leagues, and they have to take big decisions if this player can play or not, to go into the pitch. And do you think EMG can be a good helper or kind of backup a decision for playing or not playing?
Exactly. I think when we have, let's say, for example, we take a hamstring strain, which is very common for soccer, rugby, 100, 200 meters, 400 meters. So when you have to decide whether this player is going to go back and he has to accelerate, I think there are a battery of different tests that I would do. And EMG could be one of those because you have such a specific number from the muscle activity that I think it could be part of a battery. I would say alone, no, not enough, but together with a battery of other tests could be a very, very useful tool to use, yes.
Yeah, I know of a physio that is using EMG when evaluating Nordic hamstring exercises.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And showing, because you can do them right and you can do them wrong. So
yeah, that's true.
If you do them wrong, they won't help you so much.
Exactly. If we think about a Nordic, we know that according to the way you do it, because they can cheat, the muscle will not work as well. Normally, a physio who doesn't have an EMG, he will watch. But now the question is, can he really see or not? Maybe not enough or not so specifically. And then I think if you would put electrodes and measuring, of course, you see whether he's teaching or not. Absolutely.
What about detecting weaknesses like the chances for ACL rupture, things like that? Do you think EMG would be good there?
Well, if we have a laxity, probably we would see a difference, I think, because if you have a laxity and the quads is not working properly, the flexors of the knee, the hamstrings are not working perfectly, I think you could probably detect this type of problem.
What about like muscle coordination, like what you call feet forward mechanism before you land, things like that? So could that come into that equation?
If we think about feed-forward mechanism, also because with the EMG, with your EMG, with your uni, we can calculate this delay in the feed-forward mechanism. Originally in 1994, Pologis was the first one who was detecting that when we are lifting up the arm by chronic low back pain, the transversus abdominis as a muscle was coming in too late. In 20 years later, another group, a Swiss group, actually found the opposite. So then if you start to think, so which one is right, which one is wrong, I think that would be probably the best option to take an EMG, which can really calculate how much is the delay in the feedback mechanism of the muscle activity that you do unaware before you do the movement. And I think that could be something that can be very, very useful for this example, which is one, but we have more than one example in feed-forward mechanism. I was thinking, as you said, feed-forward mechanism, that we have also another idea where we can use it quite well. In physical therapy, we are working also on neural movement, which we call neurodynamic. And this is something I teach also internationally. And basically what we do is we test whether we can do a certain movement where we put some load on a nerve. Now we have seen, and we have also research done using EMG, that when someone has a problem which he cannot, let's say, move his nerve properly, the muscle is protecting. If the nerve is irritating, the muscle is protecting the nerve get overstretched and the patient has pain. How is he doing that? With a contraction. You can measure that with the EMG. Very, very good. And for example, on this movement, they've done measurement on the biceps, on the pec, on the upper trapezius, and they have seen even before you put the nerve on tension and stretch and the patient would have pain, if he has a pathology, the activation of the EMG is going up immediately. And this is also very interesting to see in this type of category of patient.